Hello! Today we're going to be making pemmican. Pemmican is dried meats, berries, and tallow mixed together and formed into bars. It was created by the indigenous peoples in North America. Very nutritious and it lasts a long time. Alright, I'll show you how to make it. To prepare your tallow, you gotta put it on low heat and just render it down until it all melts, and then you're gonna strain it out with a cheesecloth when you're done. As you can see, it's all mostly rendered down. There's a couple chunks in there yet, but it's gonna be more than enough for what I need it for. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna get some cheesecloth, put a little storage there, and you're gonna pour that into there. And there's the leftover chunks, and when you get done straining, it should be pretty clear. This rendered tallow is from beef. You can get it from the local butcher for around $2 a pound. Yeah, this was 1 pound worth, and as you can see there. Usually you'd use tallow from deer or buffalo or whatever, but that's all I had. Then after it cools down for a little bit, then you're going to put it in the fridge and it'll harden and you can save it for later. And as you're waiting for this to dry, you can take all this leftover fat and your leftover onion containers. I think this is from garlic. We're not sure, but anyways, these, you just wrap this up and put it in here, and you can hang it outside, and the birds can eat it. Birds love this stuff. So, all right, to start with pemmican, you're gonna have real thinly sliced, lean meat. You can't have hardly any fat in there. So you're gonna take it, and the grain goes this way. We're gonna cut against the grain. Make real small slices. So you're going to use, I'm using a dehydrator. You can use an oven on your lowest setting. You just put it on the rack with some tinfoil underneath, and you just put it on your lowest setting. You put a spoon in the door so the door's slightly open so there's ventilation, so it'll dry out easier. But you're going to have real thin strips. Say about that. And when you dry it in your oven or the dehydrator, it's gonna, when you bend it, it's gonna just break in half and basically be powdery. So all your strips of meat should look like that. I think I got 3 trays here. So you're going to put that in the oven, lowest temperature, with a spoon or something in the door, just so the door is open about an inch or 2, so there's ventilation. And then you don't need to season it all, because that's just not what pemmican is. You don't use seasonings, because seasonings will make it last not as long. So then I'm going to use some blueberries. Like another tray here. Rack's kind of big, so I got some parchment paper. You're going to take all your berries and lay them flat. Make sure they're spaced apart. You want to get these dehydrated so they're in, so when you crush them, they're kind of a powder. Because the more moisture, if there's any moisture in there, it won't last as long as it normally does. Because you're using the tallow to replace the moisture. See, after about 10 hours of it being in the dehydrator, it just breaks apart when you bend it. That means all the moisture is gone and you're ready to go on to the next part. After you get everything ready, you can start grinding your meat and berries up into a powder using a food processor or a mortar and pestle. You want it to be like pretty much like a powder, like this. So I got my berries and meat all ground up into a powder. Now we're going to heat up the tallow, and then you mix. The ratio is 1:1. So however much you want here, let's just say there was a half a pound here, you'd use about a half a pound of tallow. Alright, I measured and I got about 1 pound of meat and berries, and then about 1 pound of suet or tallow. So you just mix it together. And you want to mix it so it's pretty well mixed here. If you have too much in there, it will be really greasy. If you have too little, it'll fall apart. Looks like I got a little bit too much in there. Too much tallow. It's gonna be a little bit greasy, but... And after you all mix it in so it's all incorporated, you're gonna push it down so it's all uniform. Then you'll put that in the fridge, and the tallow will harden really quick, and then it'll be all done. Alright, after your pemmican is in the fridge for a couple hours, it'll turn out like that. I had a little bit too much tallow in mine, so I had to squeeze some out. So, and this will last, like I said, for one to 5 years unrefrigerated, but longer if you want to seal it up. But yeah, you can cut it into bars, and that's just an easy way of making some pemmican. Thanks for watching.